Hello, good afternoon or good morning or good evening. Hope you're all well. Just going to go through just a few checks, 2 seconds, just to see that everything is working as it should be. Hope you're all well. Just going to go through let's see, just a few checks. Yeah, great. So we can mute that again and we can get started with what we're doing. Great. Oh, I haven't muted it. It's still on. There we are. Right, now we're muted. Okay, so, as you can see, today we got in the scroll saw ready to go. We got a Lovespoon that's ready to cut out. And it's our spoon for the year. So we haven't done anything much on the Lovespoon on the channel for a little while. We did one short, but other than that, we haven't done anything else. And basically what we're going to demonstrate is really what a big part of our day job is, and that is cutting out a Lovespoon. So it's our spoon for the year. We've got this silhouetted candle cross at the top, we've got the sunflower in the middle, and we've got our tree of life at the bottom, and then we're going to do a twist on the stem. We've got 2 layers. The bottom layer is a piece of ash, which I put some packing tape just to lubricate the blade, and then the top layer is a beautiful piece of teak. You can see we're all ready to start with the pierce work. So in terms of the method, if you're learning scroll sawing, we start off by doing the pierce work first of all. We've got our little set square there because we've been checking that the scroll saw is nice and level to get the best possible cut. And we've also removed the little plate on the base of the scroll saw, so it'll allow any blocks to drop through as we cut them out. Oh, we've got a comment there already. Who's with us? Hello, Mark. Hope you're all good. Hope all is well with you. Yeah, hopefully it'll be an interesting little insight. Yeah, we'll get cutting. Yes, so we haven't done anything on the Lovespoon for a little while, so you can see the methods that we use to cut out our Lovespoons, but similar for most of our projects, but just in the shape and style of a Lovespoon. Any questions as we go along? Remember to get them into us. Oh, Sawyer Rob is here as well. Hello to you. We are indeed live, and away we go. Now, one little chat I was hoping we could have with everybody, and this is very appropriate as we're cutting out our Lovespoon, and that's the idea. When you see different products and it says made in a particular place, so for instance, made in the USA, or made in the UK, or made in Wales, made in England, I was just going to ask everybody, because we're actually in contact with people sort of in power, politicians, those sorts of things. What does actually mean to yourselves? What do you think that should be? So, for instance, you know, we always say that all of our love spoons, they're all hand carved here on site. We're making them on site. So if anybody asks, we always say that, you know, our items, they are made here in West Wales, in Pembrokeshire. They are made in Wales. But this is a bit of a bone of contention. And just so I put it out there, as we're starting with cutting out this love spoon, what does it mean to yourselves if you put on that made in Wales or made in USA? Something along those lines.
Mummy needs help.
Yeah. Hello, Nico. Okie dokie. Do you want to... Graham's going to help out 2 minutes with them, and Daddy will carry on cutting out. Let's have a little look. We've also got with us, hello Gabby, hope all is well. Thanks for joining us. And yeah, as we said last week, if you're interested in like the toy making and making different items on the scroll saw, Gabby's got a great channel where he uploads the things that he makes as well. Well worth having a little look. Right, so we continue to cut out. We're starting in the middle with our sunflower, and then we're going to go and cut out the cross probably next with the silhouetted candle and the piece at the top as well. Boom, a broken blade. Well, I looked at it before I got started and I thought, it's a bit worn, but it looked okay to me. But there we are. What happens when a blade snaps? Take him out, change it over. So here you can see our Nikwa Speed reverse tooth blades. And here we go. So yeah, good for everybody to see. We do have blades breaking on us. Last week I managed to go and snap the blade holder, so I've got a brand new blade holder in here, and it's basically sometimes if you're a bit heavy-handed and you over tighten them, it's a bit of a balance. There we are. So we put that blade back in, feed it back into the hole, and once again we are ready to get cutting again. I'll just check the comment section as well, just in case. Oh, hello there. We've got the carver joining us. And we've also got a comment there from Mark Duggan. Right, so let's have a little look. I'm interested to know Mark's thoughts on this. What it means to me is to say handmade in Wales is that I haven't used the computer yet, spot on, and that the project is made here in the best country in the world. Well, that'll be open to debate, but I do indeed agree with Mark's sentiments that, yeah, when it says made in a particular place, that's exactly what we think it should mean, is that it is made either here in Wales or made in the USA or made in the UK or, made in the EU or wherever it is. So yeah, I sort of echo those thoughts, but I'd be interested, anybody else has got any thoughts on that? The carver, any thoughts on what that phrase should mean? If it says made in a particular place, what does that mean to you? Should it actually be made there? Because that's our own thoughts, is that it should. Okay, so we're over halfway through our sunflower. We've got the carver's thoughts on this one. Oh, and Ken's joined us as well. Shamai. Shamai Ken. Absolutely, made in means just that. If my son orders a model kit and it puts it together, he can say it was assembled in or built by him, but the product was, quote, made in China. Exactly. That looks like a project and a half, to be fair. Well, yeah, this is the thing, right? So to explain to, I hope as well you can see, hope you can all see clearly this week as well. Let me know if it's all coming through nice and clearly, and you've got a good view of everything. I could possibly, I'm just looking now, I could possibly bring that light. Can I bring that light a bit closer, just to help out? And if you're wondering as well, it's there we are. We try and does that brighten it up. Hopefully that hasn't gone and knocked the camera around, but let's just see. Has that helped us to brighten it up a little bit? You see, should be. Yeah.
What about putting the main light on there?
Right.
Can I put the main light on?
You can try it. What blades do you use? Gabby's asking as well. These ones, Nikwa Speed. Don't actually, because it'll mess up my lighting. Yeah, because it'll mess up the camera. These ones we're using, Gabby. We're using Nikwa Speed number 9 reverse tooth blades. We buy them directly from the factory in Germany, there's another seller that we find in Poland as well. Unfortunately, we can't get them here from a supplier in the UK. So yeah, we have to buy them directly. So that's the one, Nikwa Speed number 9. And they're reverse tooth blades. Yeah, another little thing as well, because I know that Gabby he's also working now with a Hegner. And one thing, these little plastic bits, these pieces, in time, these actually wear. So sometimes you have to replace them. These ones have started to wear. They're not too bad, but they're starting to get a bit of an indent. And I'm keeping an eye on these now because they may need to be changed soon. I know Thomas the wood carver. Oh, we've got, totally agree, the carver was, Mark saying with the carver, there are cars assembled in the UK, but the parts from all over the place. And this is something that we're coming on to.
Can I just say thank you, you know, at the moment, because I am obviously pursuing this with various agencies.
So you can always rely on any sort of controversy that pops up in our YouTube channel. It usually comes from Thomas.
Well, I just put a list of things. An Australian boomerang, for instance.
Yeah.
Irish or Scotch whiskey.
Yeah.
A Swiss cuckoo clock.
Yeah.
Even an authentic Rolex watch. Scottish beef, Welsh lamb or New Zealand lamb. Surgical instruments. This is just an example why I'm asking people, right?
Yeah.
Because recently I saw a program, the very last surgical instrument maker has finished making, because obviously they have new methods now of making surgical instruments, and this chap is the last one to actually have made for what do you call to do the operations? Right. What do you call surgeons? You know, and they were showing him on TV, and you know, if we're not careful, you know, other crafts are going to be lost because of the wrong labelling. Then.
Yeah. Right. We'll come back onto this in a bit.
Thank you. do everything right. Oh boys. I open the other door now once I get in there, so I can go back and forth that way. Cheers, Dave.
Right, so there's our first little bit of cutting out. We've got that outline of our sunflower. There's a few little bits, just little scraps of wood that are left over that we just take away using an old scroll saw blade. One there, and I think actually, yeah, I've taken that one away. There's just a bit of tape left over. So we've done that little part of the process. The next thing we're going to do is the little hanger. We'll cut that piece out. That may need me to stand up to cut that out, and then we're going to cut out the silhouetted candle cross at the top as well. Right, let's have a little look. We've got totally saying here, surgeon. Yeah, hello Chris, hope you're well. Yeah, the only other thing, Gabby, with that blade, the only other thing with the blade, Gabby, is it's the reverse tooth. So it's the Nikwa Speed number 9 reverse tooth. So you've got those 6 teeth going in the opposite way. So yeah, going back to what we were talking about and what Thomas Woodcarver was explaining, we're looking into, we're basically, you know, we're saying, hang on now. There seems to be more and more things that say made in a place when in reality it's just not true. So when it comes to things like the Lovespoon, you know, like as he was saying, boomerangs, didgeridoos, you know, they really should be made in the place that they originate from. Back to this particular project as well. So far, these are proving to be two beautiful bits of wood. They're cutting up really nicely, and we're getting a nice finish on the scroll saw. So yeah, all so far is going to plan. This, as I said, is very much what we do as a day job then. Typical, this would be like cutting out a bespoke Lovespoon request, a sort of one-off Lovespoon design. What the carver there? My pet peeve is using hand-carved, I should say CNC. Well, this is another thing that comes into it, see, and that is the method used. So yeah, we're hand carving Lovespoons, but there are many that are being sold that say they are something that they're not really what they are. And this is something then, you know, like people in power, people in authority, that surely should be something that legally they should be clamping down on, you know, is what you can label something as being and what you can't.
Yeah. Yeah, can I just, one little minute, Dave?
2 seconds, I'll just...
Yeah.
The floor is all yours.
I don't want people to misunderstand me, okay? I'm quite happy for anybody in any part of the world to make
No, absolutely.
Okay?
I think it's
But
very
we encourage people to make love spoons.
Yeah.
What we're objecting to
But
is
what we're asking, it's asking the question, isn't it? How can there be, all of these spoons labelled in? Well, how can there be all these products being made? We won't say love spoons. We'll say, because it's the same for things like didgeridoos and Aboriginal stuff and stuff like that. How can they label it as something that it really isn't?
yeah. I confess, I bought 3 shirts on the weekend from Marks and Spencer's.
Mark Duggan, a Cornish pasty can only be called that if it's made in Cornwall.
There we are. I bought 3 shirts on the weekend. I looked at the label, made in Bangladesh.
Yep.
Okay, but it's clear I had the option to purchase or not. And that's what all I'm asking for, is that a product, when it's so important to craftspeople,
Well, it's
then
not.
it should be labelled authentically.
But it's an interesting one, isn't it? Like the Cornish pasty there, it's the same. The Welsh lovespoon, it is a Welsh tradition. I mean, we haven't got a lot of traditions and a lot of things specifically made. As you said, you've got tartan from Scotland, you've got whiskies and things like this, and we've got something here in Wales.
Just imagine though, you're Ireland or Scotland, you buy a bottle of whiskey, right?
Yeah.
And then you get back home and on the bottom it says
Made in China.
Made in China. Produced in China.
Yeah.
It's something that our politicians, I've got to confess that obviously I'm very dubious about the people who are in the assembly. We're still waiting for one of the ministers to come back to us this week, but do they really care? That's the question. Do they really care? Is no. Thank you. Oh, dear.
We're certainly not arguing with that one, because the latest one that we would also give you background on this one, how this all came about, is because in Wales they've just had the idea, and we personally think it's a terrible one. One of the things with our family workshop, we've been here since 1975, and how we've survived is through visitors coming to our workshop and seeing us carving, seeing us making love spoons, learning about the tradition, because it's something so different. You just don't see it anywhere else. And one of their latest ideas is to introduce a tourist tax, and we just think that that's a dreadful idea that is really going to, in the next few years, is going to potentially decimate
and
visitor
imagine,
numbers.
It sounds, that won't be too bad, it'll be a couple of bob. They're talking on a house, for instance, somebody renting
per night, a standing
300% increase in people's rates.
And they're charging people per night. And it's interesting because we'll be asking people about this when they come to the workshop. And the people we asked about it, they said exactly what I told the Welsh Government is going to happen, they said exactly that. They said, oh, well, there we are. If we get charged something like that for coming, these were visitors for coming to Wales, then we're going to be going to Scotland next time. And that's what they said.
Or down the West Country.
Or Cornwall.
Cornwall. Yeah. Oh, it is very concerning. Just to explain to everybody that we're members, we had to join, it was the safest thing to join, the Federation of Small Businesses. That's the right title, isn't it?
Yeah.
The Federation of Small Businesses, which we pay
to be members.
A fee. I think it's about £140 now. And what that gives us...
Harbour's right again. It
as,
only hurt small business.
Yeah, as of this federation, when you have a problem, you can go to them and you can put the questions to them,
and then they can pursue it.
I've put 3 of these situations to them at the moment, and you hopefully have a professional coming back to you to give you these comments. We let everybody know what the answer
absolutely
will be of the questions that we put to them.
The reality is, my biggest concern, and this was part of why we do YouTube, is that we want to encourage more people, to make love spoons anywhere in the world. Because if you're hand making them, we want to encourage more. And I got a video coming up on this, on talking about artisans and what artisans have got to offer, not just making things, what they actually offer in terms of, like, you think a lot of these products that are made by mass production, if you actually find out about it, quite often behind it there's an artisan who's originally made and designed it. And if you lose these skills, once they're gone, and you're going to lose so much throughout the world. And the problem is that there's such a short-sightedness. It's just sort of seen now. I think that it's widely regarded that small business, small enterprise, it's just not necessary or something like this. If it's not big scale, they're not interested.
And also we're encouraging young people to come in, because apprenticeships now are so difficult to get. So, handcrafted, there is still... there's still a business there for youngsters. There's still a work there for them. apologising there for sounding pessimistic, but we are not, honestly, we're grateful for your comments on that, because on the contrary, we are more optimistic, aren't we? We are.
Yeah, no.
Because it's platforms like this.
No, I agree, because, I mean, basically, as I said, we've had a workshop since 1975, and the reason we've survived is because we've had to keep adapting and changing. So, you know, we share ideas through YouTube and things like that, and the truth is that, you know, we can see. I mean, the thing is that the Welsh government, our workshop's been here more than, when were they started? 97?
Well, we've been
So
here
we've been
before they were
twice as-
established.
Well, no, we've been here twice as long as they've been in existence, because we've been here since 75. They started in 1997. And we know that decision is going to be a disaster, potentially, for the tourist industry. So we'll have to adapt accordingly. But unfortunately, if they do follow through with that decision, there is going to be a lot of people and a lot of businesses that will suffer on the back of it.
Yeah. Have you explained the story of this one, Dave?
Not fully yet, but I cut out a little bit more, and then we'll explain
Okay.
a bit about what's going on here. Sorry, you were saying?
The King was on a TV programme the other day called The Repair Shop. It was filmed when he was Prince of Wales. He was really proud to be involved with encouraging old skills.
And that's absolutely right. I mean, we have to encourage. What I was going to ask though, Dave, before you go any further,
Yeah.
is showing the design.
Yeah.
I wonder if anybody can work out the theme.
Yeah, so
Before we tell everybody, I just
Yeah,
wondered
any
if anybody
thoughts?
had any thoughts on what the theme was for this particular spoon for this year.
yes, we got a silhouetted candle cross at the top. Just a quiz question for Thomas Woodcarver. When was the first time you put one of those on a Lovespoon?
Oh, wow.
There you go.
There's one up there, look.
That'll
isn't
keep
there?
Thomas Woodcarver busy for a moment. You've got a sunflower, and then you've got the tree of life, and then you've got this continuous twist on the stem. So it's a continuous, and it'll overlap and underlap. So yeah.
It's
Any thoughts
at
on,
least 20 years I've been doing that particular design.
Yeah.
It's an encouraging design, because the reason I did it was because a number of people come.
The carver's laughing because I cut you off both later.
Yeah, a number of people would come in and ask for a love spoon, maybe as a memorial.
Yeah.
You know, so they say, "Oh, can I have a cross card on it?" And you know, it tended to be a bit morbid sometimes. So to try and literally lighten it, that's why I put the candle.
There's a big clue there. Lighten.
Sorry.
There we are.
But also the fact that when it's on display, people say, "Oh, there's a candle on a cross."
Well, it's an interesting one. It's an interesting symbol because with it, people always say, we ask people, can you see the candle? And they say, well, yeah, I can see the candle. And you say, but there's no candle on.
Yeah.
And on that note, I will carry on cutting.
Coming off again. Shall I come in now?
You can indeed, yeah.
I've forgotten what I was going to say after all. No, we've had a suggestion
Yeah.
from the carver. Life continues. Rebirth.
I'll tell you what.
That's a cracking explanation.
I tell you what, you're on the money there. Yeah. Fair play. It's basically, look, there's a lot of, I don't know whether you have it out in the US with yourselves, but we have a lot of here. Like I'd be honest, I don't watch telly and things like that. But when I sort of I'll put in maybe on like UK news, everything is, oh, you're supposed to be afraid all the time, you're supposed to be worried all the time, and you're supposed to have all these kind of, and the idea with this one, see, is like with the Tree of Life and things like that, it's sort of saying, with things like the environment. I mean, the environment out there, it's been there long before we ever turned up, and it'll be there long after. Yeah, we're doing a lot of damage and all the rest of it, but the sort of scaremongering, that goes on, some of it is a bit ridiculous. So that was the sort of story and the message is light and hope, and that you do go through dark times and all the rest of it, but there's the world does keep turning, and things do keep moving on. So I think the carver is for a woodworking reference.
We'll definitely use that.
Is it the nail on the head then?
Mark Duggan, the hope for Ukraine.
Yeah, you got
continuing life and strength
of a nation.
I tell you what, you're all explaining it far better. Write it down. They're explaining it better than they've all got the message that we were trying to put into it.
Yes, that's great.
They're expressing it far better than we do.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's a representation of the kitten hanging onto it's spot on. I should have put the kitten on there. You're right. Have you seen that one? Yeah, no, that's a famous one where the kitten's hanging on.
Right.
Yeah, you're spot on. It's brilliant. Yeah, fair play to you all. You're absolutely on the money with it. There's a famous. They turn it into T-shirts and pictures and all sorts with the kitten holding onto the line.
Right.
Hold on, kitty, or something, isn't it? Something like that.
But it just shows the Lovespoon how you can use it
to express a message.
Yeah. We'll also probably put the date on it, and if anybody has got any sort of suggestions for anything to add to it, then there is still room to add to it if they think that there should be, you know, a particular symbol. Do you see what I mean, Dave?
Yeah, but I think this. I'm really pleased actually.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
everybody-
It's just that we're open.
No, I'm really pleased that everybody sort of saw what it was, because I'll be honest, I didn't know, and I'm a bit surprised at how clearly everybody saw that message into it. Have you made electric lanterns? Do you want to go? I mean, the only thing we have made, Clive, is we've made a few lamps. Can't do it any longer, can you? Because do you want to bring a couple across? I don't think we've ever shown everybody. We used to make lamps, but you can't do it now because health and safety. Another thing the modern world killed off is being able to do stuff like that, because you need an electrician to do all the wiring.
Well, there's two there.
There we go.
That's one.
That was one. There we go. That was one that Thomas the Woodcarver did many years ago. That was another.
And I'll get the one that might be of some use for somebody
Do you want
to...
to take that off there? I'm thinking the vibration.
Okay, I'll get the other one that's in use at the moment. There's that
Look at
one.
that, it doesn't want to come out.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to undo it. That's the only way.
That one's a real test. There we go. He's on
It
now.
gets stuck to it, doesn't it? I don't know how you want to show that one. No, that's a really interesting one for wood carvers, because it's obviously it's the woodpecker,
Yeah.
and it's sort of if you sort of bring it down, you can see then it's a table lamp.
Yeah. So you see that's the.
We used to do these quite a lot. Is that what they meant by electric lanterns, Dave? Or was it something else?
I hope so. Yeah. But I'm not 100% strong. We got one there from Bob Bennett. Stay strong, never quit, and never give up. You have to keep moving forward and always keep smiling. I like your live shows and I learn a lot just watching. Oh, thank you very much, Bob. And yeah, we've changed that angle as well, so hopefully you can see everything nice and clearly. And yeah, I mean that is very much, you know, the sort of theme, the message. It's trying to be positive. That's what we always try to do with our spin for the year, is to put a positive message into it.
Oh, why have you done two?
I thought that it's a couple of reasons. One is that we don't very often, with our spoon for the year, we've always done it where we've made one and that's been it. And I thought perhaps we could do a sort of pair, one in dark wood, one in light wood, so you get the contrast. I wanted to do one in ash because, you know, in 20 years' time, we may not even be able to get hold of ash because of all the ash dieback that, you know, is affecting the ash tree. And then, you know, I just thought that it would be, nice. And it, to be honest with you, by stack cutting it with a piece of teak, it actually makes it easier for us to cut out.
Right.
as well. So
Teak is very oily, isn't it?
it is, and it'll be nice to carve. And I just fancy doing something nice. I fancy doing something that would be fun to make.
Right.
And I thought a piece of teak as well. I'll enjoy carving that spoon. So.
How's the blade doing, Dave?
What's that?
Do you have a check of that blade, see if it's gone blue at all?
Yeah, no, it's still cutting okay, that one. There's a little bit, it is just a little bit of a bend in it, but it's still cutting.
Can I just tell everybody, I've noticed that when we start cutting, sometimes you've got to keep looking at those blades because they suddenly go blue and burn.
Yeah. No, it's only, I can only see one little line in there that I can sort out afterwards, but other than that, no, it's a nice clean cut. I could just go back over that and tidy it up. I was going to say as well about in terms of the making side of things and the method that we're using here. You may notice it. I don't stick. What's the word?
Rigidly.
Sort of rigidly to the line. Like a lot of these leaves, I just shaped because I just want to give them a bit of a nicer curve to them. So quite often I don't stick to the shape. And the other thing as well, then see, what was the other thing I was going to point out? No, it's gone. I was thinking about the packing tape. You know how great that is for lubricating the blade.
There's a very nice comment there from
Gabby. Friend, you are very talented. Thank you, Gabby.
Yeah,
as is Gabby.
He follows his father. See, Gabby.
and Gabby does all sorts of makes different toys and things like that. So another channel, another scroll sawing channel, a making channel that is well worth checking out.
Oh, dear.
I've just done that. There was a little tiny line that I wanted to take out.
It's a beautiful timber, though, isn't it, teak?
Yeah.
I know you got the ash underneath as well.
Oh yeah.
Have you explained the reason for why we're making it in ash?
Well, basically, yeah, because we got that ash dye back. Hopefully, hopefully we will be able to source it in the future, but we're not seeing much of it. So I thought it would be nice to have another Lovespoon in ash.
And most of the trees in our area, at least 50% of them are ash trees.
Yeah. And so it's all part of that story.
They've been really hit hard.
father from here in Romania.
Thank you, Gabby. Thank you very much. Could I also come in there, Dave, on the ash tree? It's the common ash that you're using.
Yeah.
We have another tree which hasn't been affected by the ash dieback. It's what we call the mountain ash. It's much smaller, but a
They
lovely
call it rowan ash as well, don't they?
rowan ash. That's right, and it's got a lovely dark heartwood, lighter sort of sapwood, but it hasn't been affected. It doesn't grow as large.
Hard stuff for carving.
Yeah, that's right.
Gabby and the Carver. What are the names of your channels?
Right. Well, the carver is the carver, and basically, if you put in both of their names, do a search. I find the one that works best for the carver is to put the carver owl, and usually that brings up the carver's channel because there's a few different ones that go under the name of the carver. And then Gabby, if you put in Gabby's name, that brings up the channel. Yeah, both channels well worth checking out, having a look at some of the different things that they're making.
What was the name of the carver again? The owl, was it?
I put in the carver owl. I find
Owl.
that's the quickest way to bring up the channel. 'Cause
OWL.
so the first video that the carver did was an owl carving, so that brings up the channel. And then Gabby's comes up by putting in Gabby's name. But yeah, well worth checking out what they do. Oh, and while I'm thinking, just to say a quick thank you as well to everyone, because I noticed earlier today, we've just gone past 6,000 subscribers. So that was, yeah, delighted at that. That's absolutely incredible. So yeah, thank you all. And we've done, I do believe we've done a million views in the last year, which is, yeah, extraordinary.
What is that one there?
Really pleased with
It
that.
says-
It's Elizabeth had just said that's what you put in, Gabby. Yeah, put in Gabby.
Fedora.
Yeah, Fedora, so it'll come up. No, you're welcome. or sort the search results by channel, it'll show up. There we are. So if you sort it by channel, it'll come up as well. But yeah, if you do that one, put in the carver owl. You'll see some of the carvers carving demonstrations, and then put in Gabby's name, and it'll come up.
quick go? Eh? Doing a quick swap then, is that? Yeah, go on. I'd probably wreck it now, Dave, after all that.
Thomas Woodcarver's going to take over for a bit. I thought, no, because we usually do both of us do a bit of work on the spoon, so...
Oh, that'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Thomas Woodcarver's taking over. I tend to watch usually more when my plane doesn't let me get into the ship. No, absolutely, you're welcome. No, Mark, it's well worth having a look at the channels. What are you doing for it to call out? No, thank you, Gabby. And it's well worth getting over to the Carver's channel and...
It helps to put that lever back there, doesn't it?
That's what we call a false start, that is.
point out to everybody,
Yeah.
you notice Dave said, do you want to take over? And he's given me 2 lines, look. I just pointed one there and another one there. I can see now why he wanted me to take over, because he's not sure which line I'm supposed to follow.
Just improvise. Don't worry about the lines.
Not
we got a comment there from somebody joining us from Croatia.
Right.
I don't know this Sarisa. Yeah, saying new to doing woodworking, wood carving. So what we do, see, we're working, doing a bit of carving with the Dremel. So we work with the hand chisels and gouges, but we use the scroll saw to cut a basic profile, a basic outline. So we start everything where we cut our basic outline on the scroll saw starting off. And then afterwards, we put all the detail on using the different chisels and gouges. But hope you enjoy and any questions or anything.
The Dremel is good.
Dremel,
you know,
a lot of people use it. Dad uses it.
I think a lot depends on what you're carving then. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm saying about hoping to learn a lot. You will absolutely learn loads doing wood carving.
One of the most important things, Dave, when I was doing my apprenticeship, was when you were cutting with a saw, the carpenter would tell me, let the saw do the work.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's important when you're on the when you're working on the scroll saw.
Don't force.
Don't force it. Let the saw.
The blade.
Let the saw do the work.
Yeah, just feed
That's
the blade.
Why, oh yeah, it's still reasonable.
Nah, it'll. I tell you now, it'll finish the job because that teak and the packing tape is lubricating the blade all the time, so it'll give you a nice.
You've shown everybody the packing tape underneath, have you?
I've turned it over a couple of times. You want to turn it over again? Yeah. See, all I've done is I've just covered it in packing tape.
That's very shiny. If I show that bit there, like you can see, there's like sellotape or packing tape, he calls it, underneath there.
That's right.
There we are.
I'm thinking as well, maybe then, I'm noticing there's a number of wood carvers amongst us. So I'm thinking, what if we did a special next week and carved this Lovespoon? We haven't done any carving.
Then we'll keep it for next week. Yeah.
So we'll carve one of these. What I might do is to carve one in the week, and then we'll demonstrate carving the other. I think we demonstrate carving the teak one next week because teak beautiful to carve.
And by the way, can we show everybody the mask?
Oh yeah, Thomas Woodcarver uses a different mask.
I use a similar kind of mask.
I use that one.
It's not easy to.
Different people have said to us about using like a dust extractor. Yeah, works well. But we've always worked with a mask, so we're used to it and we're happy using that method.
There's the button gone. There it is.
That is so important. Let the saw do the work. I know it goes back to my apprenticeship. I'm just turning it over just to check that you know, I haven't gone astray underneath, and that's the important thing. If you force it, then especially when you're stack cutting, you know, if you forget and force it, it'll go out of shape, won't it, on the bottom.
I was just telling everyone it's nice to watch. I've been watching the lights and enjoying this.
Oh, good for you. There we are. I'm going to hand you back now.
I was going to say something as well. Go on, cut us a bit more, and I was going to say something and it's gone.
Okay.
I'll have to think now.
That the boss.
I don't.
Hey Dave, there's a funny bit there. Look, what's the bit you're supposed to be cutting out? There's a bit there, and a bit there, and a bit there. Yeah.
So if you look, it just sort of angles in between. Think branches and leaves, and just shape it into
Okay,
branches
so you're
and
going to come
leaves.
down there,
Yeah,
across
a bit
it,
curly.
and up there.
Yeah,
It's only a little bit.
Yeah, it is. It's
There we
in
are.
between bit.
Clive saying Dremel works well.
Well, yeah, it does the job. It's not my own personal preference, but I know Dad, he's happy working with the Dremel. He uses it. And that's the thing. There's no right or wrong. Whatever method works for
And
yourself.
there's a thing on here as well. You've got this blower that's blowing the dust.
Yeah.
On the one I use in there.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. You've reminded me.
Yeah,
There we are. You cut that one, and then I'll ask you my question.
Okay, the blower is nearer
Yes.
to that on mine. It's further away on yours.
Yeah. I remember what it is. You cut that one out, and I'll ask you my question.
I just again emphasize why I raised my hands there was to show everybody I'm barely pushing.
Yeah.
I'm very gently, you know, I'm just feeding it through. And that's the important thing, is not to push, you know, not to force it.
I'm just checking to see that is lining up again. That's what I was going to ask you. And if you cut out another little bit before you finish, I was going to ask you the setup, my setup in comparison to yours. Do you find much difference or not too bad?
Only this is nearer.
This is, yeah.
The blower is nearer.
Yeah.
But apart from that,
no.
And I'm going to let you do that bit. Sorry, I'm
That's
going to let
fine.
Dave do that bit there.
Yeah.
I'm going to do this bit here because it's much clearer, so
Yeah,
I know
where to cut.
Where
That's
to
fine.
cut.
That's fine. I'm going to check that this sound as well is working as we want it to.
Carry on. Okay.
Yeah. Carry on. Now the carver's just realised as well that he cuts better with his glasses on. That's why I sit so close to it, see? And I'm just going to work out, 2 seconds as well, is that, yeah, we've got that weird delay back. I don't know what's going on with that. There's something strange that where we get the weird delay in the sound. I don't know what causes that. I'm going to have to check all the cables to see what causes it. But
We swap over again.
apologies for that bit of a delay in the in the sound, but it's something that is somewhat baffled me so far. We haven't quite figured out. It's one of the cables is not quite working as I would hope. That was another thing I was going to say as well is with these projects, we get asked a lot by a lot of people coming in, how long do these different projects take? Well, I'm just working out there now, and I know we're speaking in between, but we've been cutting on this. It's like an hour and a half that we've been cutting this out, so it does show you, it does take a time.
Yeah. Plus, of course, it's often when people want bespoke glove spoons, it's the time in designing it for them.
That's right.
You give them then the drawing, and then they add or take away from it, don't they? So, you know,
Absolutely.
that's what takes the time. It's so therapeutic, the wood, the machine. It gave me a bit of a fright then because you were cutting and I was looking at that at the same time and I
There's a fraction delay.
yeah.
I think it's pronounced Coco Sarica. Do you want to have a look?
I will indeed.
Let's have a little look. What type of wood would be best for a beginner? And that it has a beautiful light colour. I work with willow. It's too soft.
What is referred to in America, in the US, it's referred to as basswood.
Or lime wood.
What we would refer to here as flowering lime.
What else has been said? Basswood or lime? Yeah. And I've worked with an oak tree that's hard, but it turns out nicer than
Willow. Yeah, generally speaking, see close grain, hardwoods like oak, ash, sycamore, maple, mahoganies, teaks, because they're close to grain, they generally lend themselves to carving. They cut more cleanly, more nicely than
On that
than
question
willow.
though, Dave, we use, because he's mentioned oak,
Yeah.
we use old furniture.
Grind, is that?
Old
Yeah.
furniture that's been discarded, and people, you know, they put it in auction sales, they don't want it any longer, it's damaged and they can't sort of repair it
Yeah.
without a lot of work.
Yeah.
And so some of the very old furniture oak,
Yeah, a lot of
if you can get hold of that, it's slightly softer than the new sort of what would you call it? The you know, the new wood.
well, here the company is Oak Furniture Land, isn't it? That sort of thing.
Yeah, but some of the old furniture is good. Well, there's a light coloured timber, Dave. For cocoa. The sycamore.
That one was that one alder?
Oh, that's older.
Yeah, not the easiest for carving now.
But it's a light, you know, if you can get hold of but sycamore would be another one, Dave.
Yeah.
This takes me back to my apprenticeship now, Dave. Because this is the last one, isn't it?
The last one.
Yeah, and what the chippies always used to say, you should have started that one first. That's about it for now, Dave, I think, isn't it?
Well,
What I'm going to do, I'm just going to show cutting out the surround, and indeed that will be it.
Or you going for the surround, do you? Okay.
I just cut the surround. for
Yeah,
everybody
it's
to
funny.
see.
I'm sort of nervous with the surround, Dave.
well,
Do you think you should, you know, that should be a little bit?
Yeah, don't worry.
Another blade. Now that was interesting then, because it's interesting when a blade gives notice like that, because you could feel it.
One of these, is it?
You could just feel it just stopped when I was cutting the surround there. It just didn't want to do it, and so
Was that the blade you just took out?
yeah.
Well, it's due, look.
Yeah. No, it's fine. When I started
Yeah,
cutting the
I
surround,
seen
but then
the
all of a sudden, it just reaches its limit,
Yeah.
and boom, that was it. And I could feel it as I was trying to cut. It just wasn't going anywhere. Just at the top there, it started bouncing around as well and things like that, which doesn't help either. Have we missed any?
No, we're okay.
We're up to date.
we go. That's the cutting out. Let's separate the two layers. Boop, just like so. And that's the two layers then prepared for our spoons for the year. A little bit of sanding left on that. We turn it around so you can see it more clearly just on the back. And that is how we prepared our Lovespoon to make for this year. Hopefully that's been interesting. Yeah, we appreciate all the comments, all the thoughts as well, because it's always great to know.
And we'll let you know how we get on with the 3 questions to the
Yeah, we'll also let you
Federation.
know how all that went on. I'm going to then also look into what's going on with that slight delay on the camera, because I would like to get that sorted out.
Well, I thought that was always there.
No, there's a slight delay on the camera, but there's a delay on the sound. The sound and the picture should synchronise together. But there we are. We hope you all have a great week. It's also dry, good idea for old furniture. Yeah, absolutely. The seasoned wood is what we work in. But thank you again for joining us. And we've turned it on. Yeah, and as always, yeah, have a great week. And I'm going to put my
Yakida.